Recording progress.
Or just, yeah. No, they're probably recording. Awesome.
Okay, so we will start, let's start on our backs, under band. If you have a band, grab it. If not, you can do this all about the band, so it doesn't matter. Your thighs. You guys, if you don't want to use band, it's totally fine as well. And then have your feet about hip distance apart. Have your weights by your sides, and then just slide right on the ground. Okay, following us, are we okay? Can you hear me? Are you sure? You would just not. I would. These ones, we don't like to put these ones later. Is that okay? And they don't have to yell. Save my voice. Okay, so feet just about the distance apart, maybe a little bit wider so you can feel a little bit of tension on the band. Shouldn't be like a ton, just a little bit. Think about your knees pointing straight up to the ceiling. Your pelvis is nice and neutral. Okay, so pelvis is neutral, tailbone is that bit heavy, nice long waistline, back of your rib cage is heavy. You've got that little small space behind your low back. Upper body is just relax. Your hands are facing up to the ceiling, collarbones wide, shoulder blades flat, and you're looking just straight up, so your neck is nice and long. From here, all I want you to do, we're just going to start with some roll-ups. So our hip rolls, sorry, so belly button towards your spine. Press through your heels, lift those hips up to the ceiling. And stay when you're up there, feeling your knees kind of reaching away from the top of your head. And then slowly roll down all the way. Just one vertebrae at a time. Your tailbone is the last piece to come down. And then you got to get belly button to spine. Press through those heels, lift those hips. Again, nice big breath up there. And then slowly articulate all the way down. And back. Control. Give up space. Upper body still quiet. Do two more like this. Start with that core connection. Press into your heels so your glutes and hamstrings working as you lift. Ribs are still tighter at your center here. As you roll down the back of that rib cage, get heavier. All the way, lumbar slide, press down one vertebrae at a time back to neutral. And then on this one, we're going to stay at the top. So belly button in, press and lift, and then stay right there. So thinking about your knees reaching away from the top of your head, kind of keep that pull constant. Think about your heels pressing into the mat to keep those glutes nice and active. Waistlines are long, ribs are still tight around your center. From here, just open those legs up just a couple of inches. So again, you can do this with or without the band. If you have the band, you're going to feel an immediate pull on those outer glutes, and then slowly just control as you come back in. So you're opening out, moving from those outer glutes. You're resisting as you come back in. Keep those glutes working. Go for 4 like that. So out, little resist. 3. Out that bit. Resist. 2. Resist. And then go one more. Open out that little bit. Stay with that little bit of extra tension on your glutes. And then roll all the way down. Come through the neutral. And stay up. Good. Okay, so now from here, keep your left knee exactly where it is. So where your left leg is basically a wall, you're going to open your right leg up to this side. So only as far as you can keep your pelvis neutral and evenly weighted, and then control, bring that right leg back to center. Then again, same leg, left leg is a wall, right leg opens out, pause, and then slow and control, pull back in. So don't worry about how wide you open your leg. Here's another band. Open out, have a little pause, slow and control, pull in. Start to think about not only what your glutes are doing here, but what your core is doing, right? Your core is keeping you steady as you open that right leg. Core is working to keep that left leg nice and still as well. One more like this, open that right leg up that little bit. Slow and control, bring it back to center, and then stay. Now your right leg is going to be the wall. You're going to pull your left leg away from it. So again, doesn't need to be super far. Just however far you can open your left and keep your right leg totally still. And then bring it back in. That little open out, left knee opens, right leg stays still, slowly back in. So try and use your breath. See how that helps to connect through your core. Exhale as you open your left that little bit. Slowly come in. Last one like this, open that left that little bit. And then slow and control, pull that leg back to center. And step. All right, so now from here, keep both these pointing up, bring your hands behind your head. We're gonna add a little more upper abs to this. So tuck your chin just gently in, exhale, come up to flexion and then stay. So feeling that you still have your little tiny space behind your low back, your ribs are tight around your center, and then they're moving down towards the top of your hip bones. Your shoulder blades are just barely lifting off the mat. Stay right there. And we're gonna alternate legs. So your left leg stays totally still, pull your right leg out. So it doesn't matter how far. I'm going like 2 inches. It's not far. And then slow, come back in. Do the same thing left. So left opens, right stays still. Slow, come back in. Now open your right leg out that little bit. Left stays still. Lower your upper body slightly. And then curl up, leg in, curl your upper body up. So now leg out, upper body down, leg in, upper body up. If it's too much to think about with the upper body, just focus on the legs. You want to keep an eye on that. Opposite leg for stability, that's fine as well. That'll look like this. Go for 2 more each way. Take it nice and slow, open out, pause, slowly coming in, open out, slow, slowly coming in. Last one, right? Remember when you come down with your upper body, it's not a break. You're working and you're working. Last one left, out that bit, and curl up, holding there, and then just slowly come all the way down and back to neutral. Good job, guys. Looking up here, grab your weights in your hands. Reach right up to the ceiling. So feeling your shoulder blades are nice and flat against the mat. Your collarbones are wide at the front of your body. All right, so shoulder blades heavy. Your hands should be just about shoulder distance apart, so the same distance. Yeah, exactly. Don't let those hands come too close together. And from there, keeping your weight even from right to left in your body. Just open your right arm to the side, so don't let your body move with it. And then bring that right arm back up. And then same thing left. Open it out nice and controlled. As you open it out, your right shoulder blade stays heavy. And then back up. Let's go right again. Open with control. Ribs stay tight around your center. Press back up. And left. Press back up. Okay. Now from here, belly button to spine. Press through your heels with those hips. Holding up here. So now with left body parts down on the ground, it's going to be harder to keep your weight even. Let's think about this. Open your right arm out to the side. Left shoulder blade stays heavy. Your weight is even in your feet. And then bring your right leg back up. And then left arm opens out. Press all the way back up. Keep alternating. Think about that opposite shoulder blade staying flat on the mat. Knees are still reaching away from the top of your head. Not much tension on your band right now. Up. One more left. And press up. Now let's open your right arm out to the side. Drop your hips down. Hips and ribs come down together. Press all the way back up. Arm up, hips up. And then go left. Left arm out. Hips come down. Keep the weight on your shoulders. And press. One more. Right. And up. So one more left like this. And press up. Now lift your right heel, so you're on your right toes. Only on your right toes. Open your right arm out to the right side as you bring those hips down, and then press back up. And then alternate over to the left. Keep your light touch on your right foot. So just light on those right toes. Some more left glute working here. Inhale down, hips stay nice and level. Press still, alternating arms. One more right. Press to that left heel up. One more left. Press that left heel up. Lower your right heel. Roll all the way back to the mat. Come to neutral. Take a breath. And then press through those heels, lift straight back up. Now let's open both arms wide. Feel that nice open stretch across your upper body there, across those collarbones. Drop your hips low at the same time and then press everything up. So do that again. Inhale down, arms open, hips drop and press. Inhale down. Keep that tiny bit of tension on your band. Don't let those knees fall together. Two more like this. Press. One more. Exhale, press right up. Stay. Now lift your left heel, so you're light on your left toes there, and most of your weight is in your right heel. From there, open your left arm to the side, drop those hips low, and then press everything up. Now drop your right arm to the side as you drop your hips, and then exhale, press. Inhale down, exhale straight up, even weight on those shoulders. Inhale down, exhale straight up. One more each way. And all the way up. One more wide right. Exhale all the way up. Lower your right heel. Roll all the way back to the mat and right down to neutral. Good job, guys. Okay. Pop those weights down by your side. Hug those knees into your chest. Just have a little roll side to side. And then bring those feet back down. So just comfortable distance in front of you. Let's turn our palms to face up again, so we're really nice and relaxed through that upper body. Feel the back of your rib cage getting heavier for a couple of exhales. So nice big breath, ribs widen slightly as you exhale. Feel those ribs tighten up around your core. Feel your the back of that rib cage getting a little bit heavier. One more like that. Back of your rib cage is heavy, but you have your space behind your low back. Now bring your right heel up off the mat. Bring your left heel up off the mat. Other, and then bring your right leg up. Left leg up. So your legs are in tabletop here. Now from here, all I want you to do is open those thighs out a couple of inches. Feel those low abs deepening as you do that. And then slow and controlled resist as you come back in. So let's exhale. Opening those legs slightly. Inhale, control back in. Go for 4 like this. And if you feel your back at all, bring your knees closer to your chest. You can do the same thing there. Last 2. Absolutely control in. Last 1. Stay wide with your legs now. So get to a spot where you can hold that tension in your band. From here, move your thighs 1 inch away from you, and then 1 inch back. Tiny little movement, exhale out. Inhale and keep those ribs hugging tight around your center for 5. You don't need to go far. Remember, if you feel your back, just bring your knees closer to your chest. 3. Keep that little bit of tension on your band. Last 2. Pause when you're out there. Control in. Last 1. Come back in. Legs together. Lower your right. Lower your left. Lower those heels. And take a breath. Awesome. Okay, so now from here, head back behind your head. Tuck your chin and back up to flexion. Stay right there. Okay, so our left hip is going to stay really nice. Actually, so our right hip is going to stay nice and heavy. Bring your left leg up to tabletop. So feeling that your weight is totally even from right to left in your pelvis, even through the back of your rib cage. You can stay here. If you want an extra challenge, you can lift up your right heel. That's totally fine as well. So we're going to add a little rotation here. We're going to rotate towards that left bent leg. So your right shoulder blade comes off the mat. Your right elbow does not touch your right knee or your left knee. And then come back through center. Right shoulder blade off the mat. A little rotation. Keep going the same way. And then slow come back. Right shoulder blade off the mat, across, control back through center. Right ribs towards the top of your right hip as you rotate. And back, not like the right hip, or whatever you do. 3 more here. Control as you come back over 2. Control as you come back exactly. Keep that right hand here. Last one, across. Come back through center. Stay. Lower your right. Lower those heels. Lower your body all the way to your breath. So it's really soft. It does not need to be a big movement. It shouldn't be a big movement unless you're kind of in a very twisted spot. pelvis, so it's just not easy to do. Tuck your chin, curl up to flexion. Okay, so from here, lift your right heel, pop that leg up to tabletop. So knee above your hips. You got a little tension on your bed too, right? Now you can lift up your left heel if you want, flat, whatever feels good. So we're gonna rotate left shoulder towards the top of your right hip. Left shoulder blade off the mat, and then back through center. Exhale into it. Inhale back through center. Super small. This is work, and this is still work. You're not down here having a break, right? And then back. Go four more. Little rotation. Left ribs towards that right hip. And back. 3. And back. Last 2. And back. Last one. Up close. Back through center. Lower your right toes. Lower those heels. Lower your body all the way down. Job, guys. Hug those knees in again. Have a little roll out there. And then let's come on to our left sides. So flat on your left side, your knees are in line with your hips, and then your heels are under your knees. So a good way to get into the correct position is to line yourself up with the back edge of your mat. So the back of your head, your shoulder blades, your tailbone are all against that back edge, and then your shins are at the front edge of the mat. So you bring your knees way up, you got it. And then heels right under your knees. Natalie, bring your feet forward, so your heels are under your knees, and then bring your knees in closer to your chest. Yeah, you got it. So your legs are in just a perfect right angle. Okay, and then from there, lie flat on your left arm so that neck stays nice and long. Think about your left ribs a little bit. They're gonna stay a little lifted off the mat. Pop your right hand on that right hip so that waistline stays long, and then lift your right leg up about hip height, maybe a tiny bit higher. Stay when you're there, and then just slowly lower to a hover. So you can lose tension and then go back into it. Pull through the band as you lift, pause, slow and controlled back down. Pause, slow and controlled down. So you can feel when you get to that high point where you're in the tension, can you feel your right obliques working as well? You should feel that. 2 more like this. And control. 1 more, let's lift up and stay. Take a breath. Now from here, go up 1 more inch, hold, and down 1 inch. Tiny inch lift, tiny lower down for 6 little ones. And 5, 4, abs deepen. 3, abs deepen. 2, last one, come up, stay. Now press out through your right heel, so straighten your right leg all the way underneath you. Hold when you're there. So you have a little bit of tension back on the band as well. Try and bring your right heel back so it's right underneath your tailbone. And then bend that leg all the way back into your starting position. So back to that 90-degree angle. Now you have tension the opposite way, right? Do that again. Press through that heel, reach out, squeeze back that little bit, keep it at hip height, slow and controlled, pull all the way back in. Now we got 6 more like this. Press through that heel and reach, slow and controlled coming in. And again, press, reach. At no point is that band snapping your leg, or pulling your body in any way, right? You're controlling the movement as you reach out. You're controlling the movement as you pull back in. Last couple here, press and reach. Slow as you come in. And last one, exhale, press and reach. And then slow bend right in and lower all the way down. Guys, take a little breath. Let's straighten our legs out underneath us. So toes right under, toes, hips, shoulders, head all lined up. Looking straight forward. Now you have your right hand in front of you. Just try not to put too much weight into it. All right, reach through your toes. Both knees are pointing the way that you're looking. You're going to squeeze and lift both legs up so you're at about hip height, and then stay there. Doesn't need to be high yet, you got it. Slowly lower those legs just to a hover, and then squeeze as you lift back up. Now think about this. As you're moving your legs, your right leg could be, your right outer glute could be lifting your right leg, and then your left inner thigh will be pulling your left leg up. Let's think about our left inner thigh doing almost all the work. So your right leg is just kind of dead heavy weight. Your left one has to lift it. Can you let go of your right? Maybe bend it a little bit, see if you can let go and make the lefty do all the work. Slowly lower back. Go 4 more. If you're feeling steady, try and bring your right hand on your right hip. Go for 3. Slow. Last 2. Slow. And then go 1 more squeeze up and stay. Take a little breath. From there, go up 1 more inch and down an inch, just an inch. Little lift, pause, little lower down. Go for 5 little squeezes. Go for 4, squeeze. 3. Last 2. Last 1, squeeze up, stay. Now scissor your legs, bring 1 forward, 1 back. If you can get a little tension on your bend, go for it. You don't have to. You can go for smaller scissors. You can go a little bit bigger and feel that tension. Go for it. You'll really feel those obliques. Scissor one way. Keep those legs lifting. Scissor the other way. And again, scissor. And scissor. You got it. 4 more like this. Keep reaching as you're moving those legs. Don't let that right arm take all the work. Last 2. And back. Last 1. And back. And then legs together. Lower all the way down. Good job, guys. Really, really nice. Okay, we are going to do the same on the other side. So pop over. Start with those legs bent. So knees in line with your hips. Heels underneath your knees. All right. Nice long waist lines against your line, flat on your right arm there. Right ribs are a little bit lifted. And you're neutral, right? For some of us, a comfortable position would be kind of tucked under here. Can you see my waistlines are kind of shortened? We want to stay long so that our glute really has to work. All right. So feel those heels under your knees a little. Even higher. Yeah, good. Okay. Now lift that top leg, hip height. Hold when you're there, take a breath, and then slowly control lower down just to that hover, and then go back up. So really feeling that outer glute as you lift, you have that little pause, and then control back down. Again, up, little pause, slow and control down. And slow. Do you feel how with the band, do you get that extra bit of obliques? You have that extra tension through your side abs, bottom and top right. And slow. And of course, extra glute too, feeling that pressure. One more like this, we're gonna lift up to about hip height, maybe a little higher, stay. Now 1 inch up from there and 1 inch down. Don't worry if this side hurts way more than the other. It was working on the other side too. So we're lifting up. Go 4, 3, 2, little squeeze. Last 1, squeeze up, stay. Now kick out through that left heel, reach all the way underneath you. Find that length, maybe squeeze back a little bit, and then slowly bend all the way back in, nice and controlled. Remember, you're controlling the band, it is not pulling you. Press, reach through that heel, and then slow pull back in. So you press out, reach through your heel, squeeze that hamstring back, almost like you're pressing your leg behind you slightly, and then pull all the way back in. Tons of core, keeping you steady. 4 more. Slow and controlled, coming in. 3. Slow and controlled. Last 2.
neutral. Last one. All the way out, and then bend that leg back in, lower it down, and take a breath. Okay, now straighten those legs out. So remember, when our legs are straight out underneath us, it requires a little bit more stability to keep us from wiggling all around, right? So having your left hand in front of you is great. Just try not to put all your weight into it, right? Have a light touch, maybe just a finger down, a couple fingers, and then reach through your toes. Your right knee is pointing the way that you're looking. Your neck is nice and long. You're gonna lift those legs, those few inches. Hold when you're there. Don't worry about the band yet. And then slowly lower to that hover. So exhale as you lift. And inhale as you lower. Lift. Pause. Slow and control. Come down. Lift. Pause. Slow and control lower. So now start to think about which leg you're feeling this more in, or where you're feeling this more in. Try to let your right inner thigh do most of the work. So try and let go in that lefty. Bending it helps for me. Bending my left leg, and my right one kind of has to take over. Just bending that right leg ever so slightly. Bending, sorry, your left leg ever so slightly, and then your right one, right inner thigh lifts. It's giving it a boost. Go 3 more. And control, go for 2. Little squeeze and control. 1 more squeeze up and stay. Little more obliques required. We're gonna scissor our legs, 1 leg forward, 1 back. You can go so far that you feel tension on your band and then scissor back the other way. So try to keep those legs lifted as you scissor and as you scissor. They're gonna wanna drop down, right? Try not to put more weight into your left hand. Stay light with that touch. Maybe bring your arm up. Go for 4 and back. Go for 3. Go for 2. Back. Last one. Scissor and back, and then legs together. Lower all the way down. Good job, guys.
Okay. Grab your bag. Get rid of that now. Pop it off to the side. Finish with that. Let's give our glutes a little stretch out there. It's a little side glute. Bring your left foot in front of your right knee. Put that right knee in nice and tight for a little stretch. Trying to stay neutral even for that stretch. And then let's switch. Right foot in front of your left knee. Put that left knee in tight. Stretch. Guys. Right. And then straighten your legs right underneath you. Grab your squish ball actually, and then hold it in your hands. Straighten your legs right underneath you. So arms reach up, nice and neutral for your pelvis. Your legs can be right together for these first couple. We're gonna do some full roll-ups. So feel your arm bones are heavy in your shoulder sockets. Your neck is nice and long. You're gonna start just looking straight up. You'll bring your arms overhead. As you reach your arms, just notice if your ribs lift, if your back kind of arches off the mat, like mine is right there. We don't want to do that. We want to keep our ribs heavy, even as your arms go overhead. All right, so you're more there. From here, arms are going to come up to the ceiling, tuck your chin, and start rolling all the way up. You got it. So like 1 vertebrae at a time, feels off the mat. Reach out to your toes, stack up tall, and then melt back. So rolling back again, 1 vertebrae at a time. Reach those arms back overhead. Again, ribs are still tighter under center, right? Tuck your chin. Upper back, feels up, mid back, low back, and then you're gonna reach all the way out. Stack up tall. Now bend your right leg. Your left knee nice and long. Think about your weight staying even on your hips. You're gonna roll back here.
Rolling. Keep rolling, reach those arms overhead.
Come all the way back up, keeping that leg bent. Tuck your chin, keep that leg hip heavy. And just come to a half roll back. So you're gonna do just this half position. Now from here, lift your right leg. Keep going all the way. Reach those arms overhead. You can reach your right leg in front if that feels okay. Don't let it rest. Arms up, tuck your chin, bend your leg back in. You'll come back to that little half roll back. Good job, guys. Get those shoulders a little roll down. One more here. Rolling all the way. Slow and control the even weight to both sides of your spine. Reach that right leg in front, arms overhead. Tuck that chin. Leg back in and that little half roll back. Come all the way up to seated. Extend your right leg. Bend your left knee in. So you'll start with it down, gradually getting harder. You can always go back to the one before, that's fine. Keep your hips nice and even. Slowly roll down. So as you roll, you can reach those arms up. Think with that even weight on both sides of your spine. Your arms reach overhead. Way up. Tuck that chin. And weight, you're going to come just into that little half roll back this time. So staying there, you're in that little bit of a scoop, pop your left knee up, and then scoop back. Keep that right hip heavy. If you can't keep your right hip heavy, I would bring my toes down. Even weight to both sides of your spine as you're rolling. Reach those left toes away from the top of your head. Take a nice breath. Tuck your chin. Keep your back in that little scoop. Take a breath. And then come right back down, rolling all the way. Reaching through that right side body all the way. Reach your left leg out. All the way overhead. And one more back up. Tuck your chin. Left knee up. Take a nice breath. Lower that left knee all the way. Right up to seated. And then pop your ball behind your tailbone. So you're almost kind of sitting on it a little bit. All right, and then you're really nice and tall. So back of your head, shoulder blades, tailbone against an imaginary wall. Reach those arms in front. Shoulders away from your ears. And you're going to scoop back, moving from your hips first. So rock your pelvis back. Then you can bring your ribs back a little bit. Then your shoulders back. You don't want to be like here. You want to be in a scoop, so it's really not huge. And then arms come up. And arms come down. So go for a couple like that. Just feel if you're like heavy on your ball. Try to be a little light. So just a little light. You should feel a little more through those low abs. Arms up for a couple more here. And yeah, go one more. And down. And let's open our right arm to the side. Follow it with your eyes. Keep your weight even on your hips. Reach. And then bring that right arm back through center. Stay. Same thing left. So left arm opens out. Your right arm is reaching forward as you go back. Even weight on those hips back through center. Do that again to the right. And then all the way in. Good job, guys. One more left like this. All the way back. And then come right up to seated. Nice and tall. Good job, guys. Okay, pop that ball to the side. And swing up to a 4-point kneel. Keeping our little scoop in mind there that we just did. Hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So really think about that. And you're neutral, right? So your tail isn't tucking. You're not arching. You're just neutral, right? Stay there for the first little bit. So you're going to extend your right leg back behind you without letting your weight shift left. So your right leg moves back. Give an extra little squeeze from your left inner thigh towards your midline to counteract what your body wants to do, which is shift to the left. And then lift that right leg up. So reach your toes away from the top of your head. We're still neutral, right? Now we're going to pull our right knee into our chest. As we pull our knee in, we're going to tuck our chin and round our spine like we did in our seated position. So tuck your knee in, round that spine, pull all the way in. And then extend all the way back out. Find that length through your spine. And then do that again. Tuck your chin into bend that knee, pull it into your chest. And then all the way back out. So you can tuck. Pull in. Left inner thigh still squeezes towards your midline. If anyone wants an extra challenge, you can add an arm to this. Your left arm will come back as your right knee comes in, scooping in. Lengthen all the way out. We've got 3 more here. Tuck. Feel how that tailbone drops Tuck that chin, drop that tail, really scoop those abs up. Out. Last one. All the way out. Bring that left hand in, right knee in, and then you can sit back to a little shelf stretch. Those wrists a little shake out. Right. And then come back up. So now we're going to kick our right leg, same leg out again, not letting your weight shift to the left. Lift that leg up and then stay there. So really reaching toes away from the top of your head so your weight is nice and even in your hands. And then from there, you're going to laterally rotate your right leg. So turn it out. So your right elbow kind of points to your right knee, sorry, points to the right side. And then bring your right knee towards your right elbow. And then kick it straight back out. So you can feel your body kind of wants to do this. It wants to shift to the left. Don't let it. We want to feel our left obliques keeping us steady as our right knee comes in. Now, the higher you keep your right knee when it comes in, like that is high as opposed to this, the harder it is on your left obliques. So kind of find that sweet spot where you're able to stay straight up and down on your left side, but your right knee is still nice and lifted. More than anything, you should really feel your left obliques. In and reach. And you don't need to touch your elbow. I'm not even touching. Keep it high because it's staying high. That's the main idea there. Last two. Last one in. Press, reach, and then bring that knee in and sit back again with that shell stretch. Then walk your arms over the right side of your mat. So really feel your left fingertips reaching away from your left hip there. Let that left side body have a nice stretch out. Okay, and then let's back up. So hands or knees under your hips again. This time come onto your elbows. Back to center now. So hands can be flat, hands can be together, doesn't matter. You're gonna kick one leg out, so press, reach out through your right heel, and then do the same with your left. So you're just in an elbow plank there. Neck is nice and long, so really feel your entire spine is long. Really reach your heels away from the top of your head. And then from here, I just want you to bend your knees. Just pop them almost to the mat, keeping your hips lifted. And then press back out through your heels. So again, knees come in, almost touch. Keep your hips lifting. And then press back out. Go for 3 more. Feel how your core has to work a little harder as those knees bend. 3. Neck stays nice and long. Don't look to your fingertips, look more to your elbows. 2. Last one in. And then lower your right knee down. Lower your left knee. Sit all the way back to a shell stretch together. Right, and then let's start on the other side. We'll start with the cat stretch and our legs extended. So now back to your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. So remember, when we extend our left leg out, our weight just automatically wants to shift to the right like that. We want to try and keep our right knee directly under our right hip. So that's right inner thigh and it's constantly squeezing toward your midline. So kick that left leg out when you're ready. Lift it up. And then stay there. So feel the top of your head reaching from your toes. As you begin to bend your left knee in, tuck your chin at the same time. So left knee bends and tuck your chin around that spine. Left knee comes in towards your chest. And then it's gonna go all the way back up. Lengthen that spine as you extend your leg. Do that again. So tucking your chin, rounding that spine in. And then let's go all the way, reach nice and long. Good. So keep thinking about that right knee. Each time you bend your left in, look at your right knee. Is it under your right hip? It should be, right? One more like that. Extend out. Now you can add the arm if you want. So keep arm down if you prefer, but if you want, bring that arm in as you come in, and then reach nice and long out. Go 5 more like that. All the way in. And reach. Warm all the way in. Don't forget to tuck that chin. Tuck that chin. Tuck that chin in. Last one in. Then drop that tail all the way out. Bring that hand in. Bring that leg in and sit yourself back to that shelf stretch. Sure. I was wiping that one. Wrong. Wasn't good. Okay, so back up. So now we'll do this guy where the knee comes into your elbow. So it's not about touching the elbow. You want to keep your waistline long. Remember, you should feel this more than anywhere else in your right oblique. So that whole right side body. So even weight on your hands to start, even weight on your knees, find that neutral. Feel the top of your head reaching from your tail. Keep your left leg out. Your weight automatically wants to shift right? Don't let it. Squeeze that right inner thigh back towards your midline. Lift up your left leg. Now from here, laterally rotate that left leg that bit. Bend your knee in towards your elbow, not letting your weight shift. And then kick that leg straight out. Slowly it comes in, nice long waistline, long neck. Reach all the way back. So even if you've just done 2, I already feel a ton of work in those right obliques. Right outer glute as well is keeping you steady. In and reach. Good job, guys. In and reach. Yeah, really, really nice. And then keep that neck long so you're looking straight down. Don't let your head hang. Last 2. In. One more. In and reach, and then bend that leg in. Sit back to that shelf stretch again. This time, let's walk our hands over to the left side of your mat so you get that right side body, that extra little stretch. Guys, and let's come onto our tummies all the way then. With some of our hands kind of about shoulder height, just bent kind of comfortably, as wide as the mat, wider than that, off the mat. And then your feet can be as wide as the mat as well. Just open them up that little bit. And then we're gonna just let our nose hover off the mat. So we're gonna do a little bit of thoracic extension. Your thoracic spine is just kind of really high up between your shoulder blades. So when we come into our extension, it's not about the low back coming up super high, right? You want to think about just extending through here, which is super, super small. It feels like you're almost not moving, but it is really important for keeping our upper body nice and strong, keeping that nice posture. All right, so I'll talk you through it. So hands are pressing down, but try not to just put all your weight into them to lift yourself. You want to invite your upper back to the work as well. Okay, so nose hovers off the mat, that little bit. Connect to your core, tighten up your ribs a little bit around your center. And then lead with your nose. Almost imagine there's a marble in front of it. You roll the marble like 2 inches away, and then you begin extending through that thoracic spine. So when you do that, Think of lengthening your spine. Think of the top of your head reaching away from your toes. And then you just extend back just slightly. Take a breath. And then slowly lengthen that spine a little more as you lower back down. And then do that against your nose. We'll just hover off the mat when you're resting. Start with those ribs, feel your core connect, and then reach the top of your head out away from the edge of the mat. Take a nice breath when you're there. So keeping that length, and then slow and controlled, come back down. As much. Light on your hands when you come up, light on those arms. And then slow and control them down, like thinning as you lower. Good, go 2 more, like that. Roll that marble away, you're extending slightly through that upper back. As you melt down, you're lengthening your spine a little bit more. Let that nose hover, and go for 1 more and stay. So essentially, you're looking down here now, right? Like maybe an inch higher than where you were to start when you're on that. Let's take a breath. Let's see if we can lift our elbows. The light touching your fingertips. See if you can lift your fingertips. Stay here. If you can, comfortably do that without feeling anything in your lumbar spine. Let's reach our arms forward a bit. And then pull your elbows back in. If not, keep your fingertips down and just work on that length. If you want that little bit extra reach. 1 more. Inhale, reach. And those arms back in. Lower those fingertips. Lower your elbows, and then lower all the way down. Press yourself back to that chill stretch again. And take a nice couple of breaths there. You guys, and then when you're ready, grab your switch up, grab your weights up. Okay, so we're gonna have our ball underneath our right foot. Lying on your back, palms face up. Feet just about hip distance apart. All right, nice even weight on your hips, equal weight on your shoulders. Inner thighs squeezing towards your midline so they're not going to fall out. And then let's roll up. So just where we started class, belly button towards our spine, we'll press into our left heel, lift both hips. Stay when you're up there. Yeah, take a breath. So when you're up here, think about your knees reaching away from the top of your head. That's that oppositional pull in your body. Slowly roll down, but keep your knees pulling away from the top of your head. So you roll everything down in between all the way your tailbone touches. Take a breath. And then do that again. Belly button to spine. Press through those heels, lifting up. Nice big breath when you're there. Slow and controlled. Like that. Now, if you want, grab your weights. Reach your arms up. You can keep your arms down if you prefer. I'm gonna go for a couple more just like that, all the way up. Nice big breath when you're there. As you roll down, reach your arms overhead. Roll all the way down. Keep that connection through your center. Arms back up. And then do that again. Belly button, spine, press and lift. Arms overhead. Slowly articulate back. You're down to neutral. Arms up. 1 more. You're going to stay at the top this time. So you're going to lift your hips nice and high. Keep your arms reaching up. From here, you're going to extend your right leg. So reach your right leg long, but keep your hips lifting. And then bring your right leg back in. Reach your right leg long. Hips stay lifted. And then right leg back in. If you want, you can add arms to that. Reach those arms overhead as your leg extends. And then pull back in. So that's an isometric hold for your left glute, right? It's working the whole time, keeping you lifted. As your right
leg moves. Reach. And in, 2 more. Ribs are staying tighter under center, constant pressure through that left heel. And in, last one, let's reach. Come right back in, and then slowly roll all the way down. Come back to neutral, and then stay there. Pop that ball over to your left foot. Reach those arms back up. Keep those feet about hip distance apart. Let's roll back up, belly button to spine, press through your right heel as you lift. Nice big breath, hips are level, ribs are tight around your center. Slowly articulate back down. Back to that nice neutral. And again, belly button in, exhale, pressing. Keep that right inner thigh squeezing to your midline. Keep it squeezing to your midline all the way down. 2 more. Up. Reach those arms overhead, this time slowly rolling all the way down. 1 more like that, belly button to spine, press and lift. Arms overhead. Fingertips sort of reach from that right knee as you come all the way down. Arms back to the ceiling. And then let's roll up and stay up. So press through that right heel and hold. Feel that your right inner thigh is squeezing toward your midline. Your hips are nice and level. They're going to stay that way as you extend your left leg. And then pull your left knee back in. So left leg reaches, arms go overhead. And then come back in. Control as you reach. And then back in. Control as you reach, keep those hips lifting. And in, only add the arms if you can keep everything else steady for 3. In, right inner thigh still squeezes to your midline for 2. 1 more, reaching away. Come all the way back in. And then roll all the way down. Back to neutral. Lower those arms down by your sides. Jump, guys. Now grab that ball. Pop it under your tailbone. A little bit, nice little stretch out here. Okay, so start with your hands just resting on the mat, palms facing up, back of your rib cage, nice and heavy. Lift your heels so you're just on your toes. Feel those ribs staying tight around your center, and then pop your right leg up and pop your left leg up. So if you feel really unsteady, just do a check with your ball. Make sure that you're even, like the ball is placed evenly underneath you. Needs to be lower down towards your tailbone than in towards your low back for sure. All right. Feel the back of your rib cage stay heavy. So your ribs, the back of your ribs are not touching, but they are kind of like they have super strong magnets on them, pulling them towards the mat. Keep that pull as we're working here. Okay, don't let your ribs lift. From here, you're just going to extend your right leg out, reach it really nice and long. And then bring it back in. And then do the same thing, left. Really nice and long. Think about those magnets on the back of your rib cage. Bring it back in. If you feel your lumbar spine, let your lumbar press down a little bit more. Reach. In. Now straighten your legs up to the ceiling, or almost straight, whatever feels good. Scissor your legs. So right leg reaches away from you, left leg pulls towards you a little bit. And then bring your legs up. Left leg reach away, right leg sort of pulls towards you. And then back up. And again. And up. And 1 more. Reach away. And up. And again. Scissor. Good job, guys. And up. Bend your legs in and stay there. From here, grab those weights if you want. You can do this with or without weights. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. You can even just eliminate the arms altogether. Reach your left arm up as well. Stay there. Now keep your legs in this nice tabletop. Again, if you pull your back, bring your knees closer to your chest. That's fine. If not, though, try and keep them in tabletop. You're going to reach both arms overhead. You're going to circle them around, down towards your legs. Whoops. And then back up to the ceiling. And then do that again. So arms overhead, don't let your ribs lift, right? Your arms don't need to go too low, circle them around. And then back to the ceiling.
that again, reach. Down. And one more like this, reach, circle, down, and up. Now stay there, keep those arm bones nice and heavy in your shoulder sockets. Reach your right leg out in front of you, reach your right arm overhead, take a nice breath, and then come back in. And then left and left, reach away. And back in. Remember, at any time, bring those arms down, that's totally fine. Reach. And in. Ribs stay tight around your center, reach. Back in. Now let's reach right away from right. Stay there. Open your arm 2 inches to the side. Open your leg 2 inches to the side. Bring them back to center. And then bring them in. Left and left. Reach straight away. Pause. Open to the side. Slightly. Bring them back in. And back. Let's do that again. Right and right. Pause. Back. And in. Left and left. Reach. Pause. Open slightly. Back in. And back. Now let's go both arms and both legs. Reach them. The legs don't need to straighten. Your arms don't need to go super far. And back. Do that again. Reach. Have that little breath when you're out there. It's not about straightening your legs. Reach. You're ready now. Let's put it all together. You're going to reach. You're going to open your arms, open your legs, bring them back in, and then back. Again, legs don't need to go low. They don't need to go straight. Open slightly, bring them in, and back for 3. Out, in, and back. Last 2. Exhale, reach, out, in. Last one, reach, out, in, back. Lower your right foot down, lower your left. Lower those arms. Hopefully you guys aren't staring in this pen like I am for a spot on the ceiling to stare at. Feel spinning around. Press into your heels, lift those hips up. Take a breath when you're up there. Give an extra little press through your heels, let that lumbar spine have a nice stretch out, and then just really let the weight of your body press that spine back down to the mat. Bone by bone, all the way up and back to neutral. Take a nice breath there. And then do that again. Belly button and press and lift. All the way down. Now come all the way up. And then drop your right hip, let your left hip lift a little bit, and then roll down. So it's like you're rolling down on the right side of your spine all the way. Come back to neutral at the bottom, so think even weight on your hips. Press all the way up. Take a breath there. And then drop your left hip, your right lifts. Roll down to the left side of your spine all the way. Come back to neutral. And now drop your right hip a little more when you're down, let your left lift. Roll up off the right side of your spine all the way. Drop your left and then roll down on the left side. And then roll back up on the left side. Drop your right hip, lift your left all the way back down. And then one more, let's go back through center. All the way up. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Reach them back overhead, rolling down, reach fingertips from your knees all the way. And then extend your left leg out in front of you, hug your right knee in nice and tight. Pull that over to the left side of your body for a little twist out here, looking towards your right fingertips. Nice couple of breaths there. Bring that right knee back to center, send it straight out. Hug your left in nice and tight. Back over to the right side of the body. Looking towards your left fingertips. Now let you back in. Bring your right back in, have a little roll around. Tailbone there one way and the other. Rolling up and ready. Feel good? Awesome. Good job, guys. Thanks, Hillary.